Welcome to another episode of Explained by AI. Today, we're diving deep into QRL. It's a cryptocurrency built to handle those potential threats from quantum computers. What makes it so different from Bitcoin? One thing is you can't mine it.
That's right. QRL, which stands for Quantum Resistant Ledger, uses a system called proof of stake, or POS for short. You earn QRL by staking it. It's kind of like earning interest on what you hold.
So instead of these huge energy-guzzling mining rigs, you just hold on to your QRL. But how do you even get QRL to stake in the first place?
Well, there are a couple of ways. The most common is buying QRL on a cryptocurrency exchange, like Bittrex, TradeOgre, or CoinMetro. You deposit Bitcoin or Ethereum, maybe even fiat currency on some platforms, then trade it for QRL.
So it's just like buying any other cryptocurrency. But what about choosing the right exchange? What matters most for security in this quantum world?
Reputation and liquidity are key, but digging a little deeper, you want to look at their security protocols. Do they use multi-signature wallets? Are they transparent about their cold storage practices? These are crucial for keeping your QRL safe, even from really sophisticated attacks.
So it's not enough to just find an exchange with a flashy interface. We need to make sure they take security seriously, especially with these quantum threats looming. So what happens once I've bought QRL on the exchange?
The next step is getting your QRL off the exchange. Remember, exchanges are honeypots for hackers. You need to take control of your assets.
Right, I've heard that before. But how do I actually store QRL securely?
That's where wallets come in. Think of it like your digital bank account for your QRL. There are several types. Desktop wallets provide decent security. They store your private keys locally on your computer. The QRL team has official desktop wallets for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux.
Makes sense. Keeping it off the web seems like a good first step. But I've also heard of these hardware wallets. Are those worth considering?
Absolutely. Hardware wallets offer the highest level of security. They store your private keys offline on a physical device, like a little USB stick. Think Ledger Nano SX or Trezor. They're almost like having a mini vault for your QRL.
So if I'm really worried about quantum hackers, a hardware wallet is the way to go. Are there any other options for those who want to go full fortress mode?
You could always go old school with a paper wallet. This basically means generating your QRL keys offline and printing them on a piece of paper, stored somewhere very safe, like a fireproof safe or a safety deposit box.
No internet connection means no way for hackers to get in, right? Talk about going off the grid. But this all sounds very post-quantum focused. What's so special about QRL that makes these extreme measures necessary?
That's where XMSS comes in. Most cryptocurrencies rely on traditional cryptography, which quantum computers could potentially crack. QRL uses XMSS, or Extended Merkle Signature Scheme. It's specifically designed to resist those attacks.
XMSS sounds intense. It must be incredibly complex to offer that level of security.
It's based on a structure called a Merkle tree. Imagine it like a family tree for your digital signatures. This structure makes it virtually impossible for a quantum computer to forge a signature or steal your QRL.
So this XMSS is built directly into QRL. It's not something I need to set up separately.
That's the beauty of QRL. It's inherently quantum resistant. But remember, choosing the right wallet that supports XMSS is equally important.
So even with QRL's defenses, a weak wallet could still be a vulnerability. So secure coins, secure wallet, secure storage. Got it. But what if I don't have the QRL yet to put in these super secure wallets? We talked about buying it. But are there any other ways to get your hands on some?
While not as common, QRL can be mined using a CPU-friendly algorithm called RandomX. If you have some spare computing power, you can join a mining pool and earn QRL, contributing to network security.
Interesting. CPU mining, it's a bit of a throwback. Any other less conventional paths to acquiring QRL?
You might find people selling QRL directly through over-the-counter channels, like the QRL Discord server. But as with any peer-to-peer transaction, proceed with caution and make sure you trust the source.
Good point. Buying QRL from a random stranger online might not be the best idea, especially when we're talking about securing it against quantum hackers.
Right. Always prioritize security and due diligence.
So we've got a pretty clear picture now of how to get QRL, whether it's buying it on an exchange, staking your existing QRL, or even going old school with mining or OTC. We've also touched on the importance of secure storage in this quantum age. But what are some best practices for actually keeping our QRLs safe? Regardless of which wallet we choose, what are some universal tips that everyone should be following?
That's an important question, and one we'll definitely dive into in our next segment. We'll be exploring security best practices that every QRL holder should know, from backing up your keys to being mindful of public Wi-Fi. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. We've covered how to get QRL and touched on secure storage. Now let's dig into specific practices to keep our QRL safe, no matter which wallet we use.
Absolutely. Think of these as essential habits for responsible QRL ownership in the age of quantum computing.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with those quantum-proof security tips.
First and foremost, when you create a new wallet, always select XMSS key pairs.
We talked about that, XMSS being QRL's secret weapon against quantum attacks.
Right. It's crucial to leverage that protection right from the start. And this should go without saying, but back up your private keys or recovery phrase in a secure location. Treat them like digital gold, because losing them means losing your QRL.
Multiple copies, hidden in different spots, like a digital treasure map.
Exactly. Redundancy is key. It's also essential to keep your wallet software up to date. Post-quantum security is constantly evolving. Those updates often include crucial security enhancements and bug fixes.
So subscribing to QRL announcements and checking for updates regularly is a good idea.
It's like updating your antivirus software, keeping you protected against the latest threats. Speaking of threats, one of the simplest yet most effective security measures is enabling multi-signature wallets whenever possible.
I've heard of multi-sig, means requiring multiple keys to authorize a transaction.
Right. Think of it like a two-person rule for accessing a safe. If a hacker compromises one key, they still can't access your funds without the other. It adds a significant layer of security.
Smart. What else should we be doing to protect our precious QRL?
Offline backups are your best friend. Keep multiple backups of your wallet in geographically diverse locations.
Just in case a natural disaster takes out one location.
Precisely. You want redundancy in your backups. And finally, a simple but often overlooked tip. Avoid accessing your QRL wallets on public Wi-Fi networks.
Public Wi-Fi can be risky. Hackers lurking everywhere trying to steal data. Better to stick with my home network or a secure VPN.
Exactly. Following these best practices can significantly reduce your risk, regardless of which wallet you choose.
This is great advice. I feel like I'm building a Fort Knox for my QRL. But stepping back a bit, I'm curious about QRL's future and the impact of this quantum era on the broader crypto space. What's your take on all of this?
It's the million-dollar question. While QRL is a pioneer in adopting XMSS, it's not the only project working on quantum-resistant solutions. The reality is, if quantum computers reach their full potential, most existing cryptocurrencies based on traditional cryptography will be vulnerable.
So it's not just a QRL problem, it's a potential industry-wide problem.
Precisely. The entire crypto community needs to be aware of this looming threat and start taking steps to address it. Fortunately, there's a lot of research happening in post-quantum cryptography, and we're starting to see promising solutions.
So there's hope for the future of crypto, even in a world with powerful quantum computers.
Absolutely. There are several different approaches being explored. Some projects are developing entirely new cryptographic algorithms, believed to be resistant to quantum attacks, while others are finding ways to adapt existing systems.
Can you give us a glimpse into what the future of cryptography might look like? What are some examples of these quantum-resistant approaches?
One promising area is lattice-based cryptography. These algorithms are built on complex mathematical problems that are believed to be very difficult for even quantum computers to solve. Another approach is hash-based cryptography, which is the category XMSS falls into. These algorithms rely on the properties of cryptographic hash functions, designed to be one-way and collision-resistant.
It sounds like a cryptographic arms race. As quantum computers get more powerful, cryptographers are developing new and stronger defenses.
It's an exciting time to be involved in cryptography. We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible and laying the foundation for a secure digital future.
This is all incredibly fascinating, but I have to admit, it's a bit overwhelming. What advice would you give to someone just starting to learn about quantum computing and its implications for cryptocurrency?
Don't get bogged down in technical details right away. Start with the basics. Understand what quantum computing is, how it differs from classical computing, and why it poses a threat to current cryptographic systems. Then explore different approaches to post-quantum cryptography and try to understand the key concepts and trade-offs involved.
Focus on the big picture first.
Exactly. Remember, this is a rapidly evolving field. The key is to stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's good advice. It's about embracing the learning process. How do we even know if quantum computers will ever be powerful enough to break current cryptography? Is this a real threat right now, or a theoretical concern for the distant future?
That's the billion-dollar question. Honestly, no one knows for sure. The development of quantum computers is still in its early stages, and there are many technical hurdles to overcome before they reach their full potential. However, progress is happening rapidly, and many experts believe it's only a matter of time.
So we can't just ignore it and hope it goes away.
The potential consequences are too great. It's like knowing a hurricane is coming and not boarding up your windows.
What could happen if we don't transition to quantum-resistant cryptography in time?
The most immediate threat is to the security of cryptocurrencies. If someone with a powerful enough quantum computer were to exploit the vulnerabilities in current systems, they could steal vast amounts of cryptocurrency, disrupt financial markets, and undermine the entire blockchain ecosystem.
It's like giving someone a master key to all the digital vaults.
And it's not just about cryptocurrencies. Quantum computers could potentially break the encryption protecting sensitive data in many other areas, from online banking and e-commerce to national security and critical infrastructure.
So this has implications far beyond finance and technology.
Absolutely. It's a global issue, requiring a coordinated effort from governments, industry leaders, researchers, and individuals. The good news is that awareness is growing, and there's a lot of work being done to develop and implement solutions.
So we're not just sitting ducks waiting for the quantum apocalypse to hit.
Exactly. And that's where projects like QRL come in. By pioneering the use of quantum-resistant cryptography, QRL is not only protecting its own users, but setting an example for the rest of the crypto community. It's paving the way for a more secure digital future.
So QRL is a test case for what the future of cryptocurrency might look like in a post-quantum world.
You could say that. It's a fascinating experiment. And the results could have far-reaching implications for the future of finance, technology, and even society.
This is some seriously mind-blowing stuff. For the average person just starting to explore cryptocurrency, what are some practical steps they can take to prepare for the quantum era? Should they be rushing out to buy QRL?
That's a great question, and it's one we'll delve into further in our next episode, where we'll explore the practical implications of the quantum threat and provide actionable advice for individuals and businesses looking to navigate this new cryptographic landscape.
I'm looking forward to part 3 of this deep dive, but for now, what's one key takeaway you want our listeners to ponder? Until we meet again.
The most important takeaway is this. The quantum era is coming, and it's going to change everything. The way we secure our data, our finances, and even our identities is going to have to evolve.
It's a call to action.
It's time to start paying attention, asking questions, and preparing for a future where quantum computers are a reality.
Not panicking, but not burying our heads in the sand either.
Exactly. It's about informed awareness, proactive adaptation, and embracing the challenges and opportunities of this new frontier.
We'll leave you to ponder those thoughts. We'll be back soon to explore the practical implications of quantum computing for the crypto space and beyond. Welcome back to Explained by AI. We've been exploring QRL, this fascinating cryptocurrency designed to withstand those potential threats from quantum computers. We've talked about how to get it, the importance of XMSS, different wallet options, and the broader implications of quantum computing for the whole crypto space. Now let's get practical. What can the average person do to prepare for this quantum future?
Well, bridging the gap between theory and action is key. First, don't panic. This isn't an immediate crisis, but a gradual shift.
So no need to sell all my Bitcoin and head for the hills.
Definitely not. But don't be complacent either. Stay informed about quantum computing advancements and how they might impact cryptography.
How do we stay informed without getting lost in all the technical jargon?
There are great resources out there that explain things simply. The QRL website has tons of information about post-quantum cryptography, and various tech news outlets and educational platforms cover it too.
Okay, so step 1 is staying informed. What else?
Start thinking about your own crypto holdings. Are the cryptocurrencies you're invested in taking steps to address the quantum threat? Do your research.
So I should be looking for projects that are actively working on quantum-resistant solutions, like what QRL is doing with XMSS.
Exactly. Projects that are proactively upgrading their systems to be quantum resistant are likely to be better positioned for the long term.
That makes sense. It's like future-proofing my crypto portfolio. What other actions can we take?
Consider diversifying your crypto holdings. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if that basket isn't quantum ready.
Spreading the risk.
Yeah.
Like any good investor should. So some in quantum-resistant projects, some in projects working towards it, maybe some in more established cryptos, exploring solutions. It's a balancing act.
Precisely. This might sound obvious, but be extra vigilant about security best practices. As quantum computers become more powerful, hackers will have more sophisticated tools.
So all the things we talked about earlier, strong passwords, two-factor authentication, hardware wallets for cold storage, those become even more important.
Absolutely. Reinforce your defenses in anticipation of a stronger enemy.
This is all great advice, but I think a lot of people might be thinking, this is all well and good for crypto enthusiasts, but how does quantum computing affect me, the average person?
That's a valid question. Quantum computing will eventually impact everyone, not just those invested in cryptocurrency. As quantum computers become more powerful, they'll be used to break the encryption, protecting everything from our online banking transactions to our medical records.
So it's not just about money, it's about privacy, security, and trust in the digital systems we rely on every day.
Exactly. That's why it's so crucial for individuals to start understanding the implications of quantum computing and demand that companies and institutions are taking steps to protect their data.
So it's about awareness, education, and holding those in power accountable for implementing quantum-resistant solutions.
Precisely. We're all in this together, and we need to work collectively to ensure a secure and trustworthy digital future for everyone.
This has been an incredible deep dive into QRL, quantum computing, and the future of cryptography. I feel like I've learned so much, and I'm also walking away with a sense of urgency and empowerment. It's time to take action, to stay informed, and to be part of the solution.
I couldn't agree more. It's an exciting time to be alive, a time of great technological advancement and transformation. Let's embrace the challenges ahead and work together to build a brighter, more secure future for all.
Do you have any topic that you would like to have explained? Drop it in the comments.